Hi, this is Mary from Second Time Tech, and today we are going to put the cables from the front panel in on the motherboard, and we'll do a little bit of cable management. Now, the reason why you can see a light through here is because whenever I did that mod video, I only went to about here on it, and I left the other part with no holes in it, and you could really tell the difference whenever you looked at it just because of the way it was shining. So I decided to go finish it off and go all the way across and put those 3 little holes in on each one of those little decoration things. So I just wanted to let you know that it went all the way across, so I can put this away now. Anyway, so first thing we're going to do, of course, is put this onto here. Now, sometimes just taking all of the cables like this and putting it through the hole in the front here and then just hanging them out the back, sometimes that's not the best way to do it. And the reason why is because you'll have a whole bunch of cables inside here. There is space where we put the cables for the power cord through here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the longer wires and I'm going to feed them through there, and then we're going to go back in on through this hole right here. And that way they'll be in the back here rather than in the front here. So we'll see how that does. And you may see me start, and then you might see me done, because this may take a few minutes. And sometimes it's very boring to watch somebody do this. That's basically all I'm going to do, is I'm going to take all of these, put them in through this hole here, a little better, this hole here, and then bring them back in this hole here. That's all that I'm doing. There. Now I got all the cables through, just the one side here, and I'm going to show you that the front panel will go on even with the drive sticking out a little bit. And there you go. Everything's fine. This is actually where you start a little bit of the cable management whenever you're doing it this way. Is what you're trying to do is to get all the cables separated so that you can move them around the way you want to make them as neat and tidy as possible. Now we've got all of our cables. Now I know it's hard to see, but this double one here, that one is for the 2 USB 3 ports on the front. This one here, it says USB on it. You may not be able to see that, but that's for the 2 USB 2 ports on the front. And this one says HD audio on it, and that's for your headphone jack and your microphone jack on the front. So those are the 3 that we're going to do first. So we'll put them in here. I think this is going to be another noisy video. Should have had more light here so I could show you. This is going to turn yellow, but at least it's a light. So you might be able to see a little better. Now, all the connections are right down near the bottom, right there. So what you're going to do is you're going to get out your book that came with the motherboard, and it'll tell you in the book where everything goes. It also says it on this motherboard. Not all motherboards have it, but most of them do. So what I'm going to do is, because I know this motherboard, is I'm just going to look at the motherboard to see where it goes. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in the farthest one over, which is the one way over here, and that will be your HD audio. Now they are keyed, because if you look at the end of it, there's one spot where it's plugged, where a pin will go in. So if you try to put it in the wrong jack there, it won't fit in. So you just have to find the one that says audio or high definition audio, and the one that's way over here says audio 1. So, and it does have one pin missing. So to put the jack on properly, it's on the top, and it's the second last one over to the right. So there's the spot right there where there's no pin, and it'll fit in this way here, just like this. Now there, it's on fine. Now the thing, what I find to do is, when you've got these style, this one's for the USB, but whenever you put it on and you just start it on the pins, just go a little bit back and forth like that, and it makes it a little bit easier to go on. So the second thing that we're going to, sorry, I was talking into the thing again. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is the USB, which is the next one over here. Now, it could be this one, or this one, or this one over here. Now it's hard to see. Sorry. So what you do is, again, look at the motherboard or in the book. And it's the one that I said was closer to the middle. So it's this one over here, right there. I'll get my screwdriver here. Right there. And right beside it is another one. So there's USB number 1 and USB number 2. So we're just going to plug it into USB number 1. So we'll check for what's supposed to be missing here. And it is on the bottom right. And the way I have this is top left. So we'll spin it, and we'll be on the bottom right. And then we will put it in. Just a quick double check to make sure, and it's just all in there good. Now the next thing that we're going to put in is, rearrange the cables, isn't it? Is the USB 3. Now the USB 3 has a little key right there. So all you have to do is look for the key, which is facing upwards on this motherboard. Now these are very fine pins on the jack in there. So this plug, whenever you put it in, just be a little bit careful whenever you're putting it in, and don't. And there we go. Double check. Yep. And there she is in there fine. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to connect the rest of these wires, which are right here. And what these are is there's one for the reset switch, there's one for the power switch, there's two for the power LED, and then there's one for the hard disk drive LED. Now, this one, the power switch can go in, as long as it's on the power switch pins, it can be, doesn't matter which way it is. Because there's no positive and there's no negative on it. And same with the reset switch, because all it's doing is when you push the button in, it's just connecting these two together, and that's it. And so it doesn't matter which way they are. So those two don't worry about, but the LED ones, you have to put the positive where the positive goes and the negative where the negative goes. Otherwise the light won't light. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put these in. And I mean, they are small, and where you connect them is way up in here. The other thing too is you can always do these first too if you want. There's no set which way you put in these cables. If this is in an awkward position, then just put them in whenever you think that it is the best time to do it. First one we're going to do is, I wish I could show you. I'm going to put a picture up. And you'll see it in the right-hand side, way at the bottom. The picture is only so good because there wasn't enough light in there to actually get a really good picture of it. But you can see a connector on the bottom right-hand side, and that's the connector that I have to connect all this stuff to. And right above it, you'll see a little white graph, and that graph is telling you where to put all these wires. So it's right on the motherboard on this one too. But you can also go into the book or manual that you got with your motherboard, and it'll show you in there where they go also. But like I say, because I've been doing this a fair amount of time, I'm just going to use the little picture on the side of the motherboard. So the first thing I'm going to put in is I'm going to put the reset switch in, because I know the reset switch is on the bottom. So I find if I put the bottom ones in first, it's a little better. There's the reset switch. Now, if I'm wrong, I will tell you, but I'm pretty sure these are at the bottom. But we'll double check. So the reset switch is on the bottom, and it's 2 pins in from the left. First, we'll go with this one. Okay, there we go. Reset switch is on. 2 in from the end. Okay, now we are going to put the power there. So now all you have to do is slide the power switch connector right on top of the reset switch, and And like I said, I put the letters pointing up so I could read what it was. There, now that one's done. Sorry, I had a bit of a camera mishap there, so might look a little bit weird, but hopefully not. Anyway, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put in the hard disk drive LED. And if you look at the thing, it says that the plus has to go to the left-hand side. So I keep forgetting the mic's there, so I'm talking in there, and one of these days I'll remember. So the plus on this one is right now on the left-hand side when I'm pointing it to you. So what I got to remember is the writing has to be towards the bottom of the case. I can't read I won't be able to read the writing. Well, there's something on top, but anyway. So that's what this one is. So this is on the bottom, and then the bottom row pins, and it's going to be put in that way. I have to hold this up so I can see what I'm doing. Now, whenever you're putting this in, you can use the ones that are in there as a guide. So you can just put it up against it, line up the pins, and then just put it in. Like for this one would be the reset switch, because that's on the proper pins. So there we go. That's in there, and I was talking in there again. I gotta remember to talk up here. I'll remember one of these days. I just said that, I think. Anyway, now these two are separate. So what we have to remember is the same thing for the power LED. That's on the top row of pins next to the power switch. The plus has to go on the left and the minus has to go on the right. But because these are separate, I can put them so that the writing is up. So I just make sure that whenever I can read the writing, that the plus one is to my left. Now, what I do normally is I put the minus one in first, and the reason why is because then I can use the power switch as a guide to put in that little connector. And there we go. And then now we're going to do the plus one, which is this one right here. I can see it. I'm sorry that you can't, but I can. And then I'll just use that one as the guide. And then I'll put the positive one right next to it. So I'm double checking it there now. And everything looks right. I'll double check the little pinout configuration picture there, and I'll make sure that it's correct. Yep, everything looks good. I'll turn the case and show you as best I can. So if you can look in there, they're all just right down in here. And I don't know if you can see that or not. Put it down a little bit so you can see. And everything is just wired in there pretty decently. So now we can turn this off. And so that's all I have for today. And the next video will be on cable management. Tried to get it in on this video, but it took too long. So it'll be on the next video, which will be out tomorrow. And I hope you liked the video. So if you liked the video, thumbs up. Didn't like the video, thumbs down. I want to wish everybody a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Bye.